All right.
Good morning, everyone.
Tony Turner.
Is Mr. Turner here?
Sheriff deputies forget to bring an inmate before a judge for a scheduled hearing this past September in Atlanta.
Oh, okay. Well, he was requested, so I'm not sure what happened there.
So Janie Weaver argues the case on the defendant's behalf.
We put in a motion for dismissal due to lack of no counsel. I spoke with you several times. You also stated that his rights have been violated due to the lack of counsel. We're trying to get it resolved today.
She's talking about Tony Turner, held on sex trafficking charges he says he did not commit, one of 10 charged in the same crime. He sat in jail for nearly 5 months with no court-appointed attorney to represent him.
Which is why the cameras are here, because they are here to see how this outcome is going to come out.
Weaver is Turner's fiance. She filed this handwritten motion to dismiss the case herself.
Are you an attorney?
No, I'm not.
What do you do for a living?
I am a certified nurse assistant, and I also work for Amazon. So he's kind of like stuck. He doesn't have no representation at all, no help at all, none, besides the little bit that I give him.
Turner is not alone. According to records from the Georgia Public Defender Council, the agency responsible for appointing attorneys to people who can't afford one, at least 620 people charged with crimes in the state did not have a lawyer this past summer. Some in jail for months. Judges in Fulton County, the state's largest, calling it a constitutional crisis.
They are waiting for that lawyer to help them through this complicated, serious process. And it is an unacceptable crisis that there are people sitting incarcerated, not able to move their case forward because the system can't find them a lawyer.
In August, the Southern Center for Human Rights threatened litigation if the state doesn't fix the problem, writing in this letter to the agency that the Georgia Public Defenders Council is in breach of its clear mandatory statutory responsibility with respect to hundreds of indigent persons accused of crimes. Amateo Ali is the agency's director.
How do you respond to that?
We're assigning our clients attorneys as soon as we know about them. To say there's a constitutional crisis, I disagree with that.
The director says she joined the agency during the height of the pandemic, inheriting staffing shortages. The Defenders Council represents 85% of people charged with crimes in Georgia. Earlier this year, she helped increase employees' salaries by 6% and created a system she claims automatically assigns attorneys within 72 hours, claiming the agency now has enough attorneys to represent defendants.
How can you characterize and say you have enough when you have so many other people saying that it's a crisis?
So these are people who don't know what's going on in-house.
Even judges?
Even judges. Because see, when you don't have the whole story, you only base your information on what you have.
She blames judges for not notifying her office when defendants show up to court without representation, saying that could be one reason her office doesn't always know about unrepresented clients.
I've only been in this position for 2 years, but in my 32 years of being with the public defender system, in one capacity or the other, this last 2 years have been the most phenomenal.
Do you buy that?
No.
These 6 former state and county public defenders disagree.
I absolutely would not have left, but for the turmoil in the office.
All left their jobs since Director Ali joined the agency in March 2020.
At this moment, we're bleeding from our staffing right now.
And all blame her for not doing enough to support agency staff. Camille Reddick worked at the agency for more than a decade.
I did not leave. I was terminated after I began to yell at the top of my lungs that the way we were handling business and the way we were treating persons who could not afford an attorney was in violation of the Constitution.
Mary Beth Snyder, David Cooper, and Linda Day say the agency didn't provide basic office supplies to do their jobs.
Things like paper, pens, envelopes.
I couldn't find folders for
No.
a long time.
They took away everything. They told us we would have offices, and they're like, oh no, just kidding, no offices.
While Day quit the agency, she still represents defendants for the state as a contract attorney in Clayton County, just outside of Atlanta.
I have 500 clients now.
500?
500. My trial partner has 500.
Is that manageable?
No, it's not. You're pissing on fires as they come up because there's no other way to do it. So cases don't really get looked at until they show up on a trial calendar.
Do you think that's manageable?
She was not a contractor when she was
She
here.
is currently a contract attorney in Clayton County.
In Clayton County, and now let me explain to you how the system works.
Is that manageable?
It is not manageable, but it would be unfortunate for Clayton County to allow that to happen, and I don't believe that is true.
It was true. Take a look. The state's case management system shows days caseload actually increased to 687 just days after our interview with the director.
A shocking lack of transparency.
Brandon Bullard is the former director of the agency's appellate division responsible for appeals, an important layer of public defense that ensures verdicts are fair. 2 years ago, Director Ali proposed cutting $1 million from his office to address budget deficits during the pandemic.
One, it was the first I heard of it, and I was the director of that office. Two, coincidentally, $1 million was roughly the collective salaries for myself and
For the entire division?
for the entire office, yeah.
Why would you not speak with him knowing that he's the head of a division in your agency before making those cuts?
I never met Mr. Bullard. And you're talking about 5 disgruntled employees who are no longer here.
I left because I had no faith that the present leadership was going to be invested in the quality of representation or would have any respect for the people who were doing the work.
Whatever reason people are leaving and you see that your ability to represent people is being compromised, it is incumbent upon you to respond to that and ensure that we don't get to this hellacious place that we are currently.
Your Honor, if I may speak.
The day Weaver asked the judge to dismiss her fiance's case, 2 other inmates appeared in court without legal representation.
Do you have a lawyer? Is anyone coming to speak with you? No?
In each case, the judge acknowledged the defendant's constitutional rights were violated. His suggestion, contact the civil rights organization currently threatening to sue the state.
Did you all call the Southern Center?
Do we call who?
The Southern Center?
What does that say about the system?
The system has failed us.